It's 10:30. So, with the kind permission of our resource person, we are starting the program for this day. This is a national webinar, and Dr. Rajat Bhat is from Bangalore. He has consented to be the speaker for today's webinar. I welcome Dr. Vinaya from my institution on behalf of all the participants and from the city of Calcutta.
Thanks.
Sir, last November, on 20th, 29th and 30th of November, we organized one national seminar that was in the physical mode, where about 175 participants, teachers, principals, everybody joined that program for 2 consecutive days. There were several resource persons who joined that, delivered their speeches. There was high-level interaction, and in a way, the program was quite successful. Thereafter, we have published a book also on the collected papers given by the delegates. So, all in all, the program was quite successful as it generated quite a lot of enthusiasm and interactions among the delegates. Good relation also got built up with the resource persons who came from within the state as well from outside. But the most wonderful thing is, before the seminar, we, the organizing college or the organizing committee, we formed a WhatsApp group so as to share information about the ensuing seminar, so that there is no, communication gap about the seminar. That was the purpose when we formed the group about 7 days before the seminar. The seminar is over for the last December, January, for the last 2.5 months, the seminar is over. But that group with the same size of 150 teachers from all over the state is still continuing. And there are interaction within that group. Many other colleges are organizing either seminars or webinars. Call for papers on IKS is coming. There are interactions, and I'm quite hopeful that this group will continue and may also get larger in size and deeper in terms of quality in the days to come. So, myself as one of the organizers of that national seminar, I feel that this group continuing with full enthusiasm and the spirit of interaction within ourselves is reflective of the fact that people are taking interest in the studies of ancient Indian values and traditions, call it in any name, Indian knowledge system, or whatever be the nomenclature. But the academic world in West Bengal is taking interest in ancient Indian values and tradition and trying to find out its contemporary relevance in the modern landscape. which I think is quite hopeful. And with that note of information at the very outset of today's webinar, I welcome you to West Bengal.
Thank you, sir.
And one more thing, maybe at the end, I will also repeat what I am saying now. Today you are here in the virtual mode, but very soon we would like to have you in Kolkata for any physical appearance and deliberations and interactions with all teachers, principals who will be taking part in such seminar. So welcome to Kolkata in the days to come.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
With these few words, I would request Professor Kalyan Chattopadhyay, who is a master trainer of the IKS division, and I think you know him also. So Professor Kalyan Chattopadhyay, who is a senior faculty in my college, he will be taking charge of conducting today's webinar. I'll be here. I have reached my college. I'll be here. But as you know, that we cannot afford to remain in all academic endeavors all the time. I need to complete some other work today, tomorrow being a Sunday. Day after tomorrow, we will be holding a physical seminar with one of the reputed Chamber of Commerce in Kolkata on artificial intelligence and cyber security. So I'll have to remain engaged with some of the work there also in collaboration with the Chamber of Commerce. But I'll be there very much in this webinar and listen to all your words of wisdom, your observations, and would enrich myself as well. Thank you, sir. Welcome once more.
Thank you, sir.
Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Namaste, sir. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Vinaya Rajat Bhat. Those of us who are actually in IKS teaching, we know him very well. He happens to be my teacher and also teacher of Nilendu, because we participated in basic and master training both in Banaras Hindu University and in Bhopal, where Sir was one of the resource persons from the IKS division. Sir teaches as an associate professor in the Center for Indian Knowledge Systems, Chanakya University, Bangalore. He earned his PhD from Rashtriya Sanskrit Sansthan, but he is also an Acharya, meaning Master of Arts, in Vyakarana, and also a Master of Arts, meaning Acharya, in Phalita Jyotisha. He was trained under the guidance of luminaries in the field like late Professor R. Devanathan and Professor B. Madhavan from IIM Bangalore, and Professor Chandrasekhar Bhat. And his research areas are grammar, meaning Vyakarana, Arthashastra, Ayurveda, Indian health system, and Itihasa. He can speak six languages, can read and write in more than 3 scripts. And most of us have seen his book, Introduction to Indian Knowledge Systems, Concepts and Applications, published by Prentice Hall of India. Recently, he has authored a textbook on Kautilya's Arthashastra, Timeless Strategies for Modern Governance for the IKS Division, Ministry of Education. Today, Sir is going to take us through, broadly through Arthashastra, using 2 terms, a collation of 2 terms. I'm not sure whether I am going to pronounce it correctly, sir. If I am wrong, please correct me. It is YOGAKSHEMA,
Yes.
Yoga is actually acquisition of what is beneficial for us, and Shema is a protection. So it is a kind of a holistic concept, and that is profoundly expressed in Kautilya's Arthashastra. I will not spend time on exploring this or speaking more on this, because we would all like to hear from Sir. That is the authentic voice. And over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I will share my screen first, then we'll start. So while sharing, I will start with the prayer. Agajanana Padmarkam Gajanana Maharnisham Anekadantam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahe Niti Shastramritam Dhiman Arthashastra Mahodadhehe Yaudadhe Namastasmai Vishnuguptaya Tejase Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. First of all, I would like to extend my heartful of gratitude to Tilakji, who is the principal of this Bankim Sardar College, and also Nilenduji Kalyanji, who invited me to again share whatever I have learned. I am not a scholar. Let me put this first. I am not a scholar. I am also learning, and I am sure that through this session, I will be learning few more things which I will take forward. And in this process of learning, this invitation actually plays a major role, because I am invited to a sweet city called Calcutta. Calcutta is one of the sweetest city. And also one more thing which I always regard about West Bengal is the state of scholars. Most of the Sanskrit scholars belong to Calcutta, belong to West Bengal, and many original texts of Sanskrit have come out from West Bengal, which I heard, because I don't know how to read and understand Bengali, but I heard from one of my Bengali friends that there is a very beautiful translation of Kautilya's Arthashastra available in Bengali language. Maybe in future, sometimes if I get the opportunity, I will learn Bengali and I will try to understand that text, because I'm working on Kautilya's Arthashastra. But thank you very much for inviting me to this august audience present in front of me. I never expect in online I can get such a huge number, but indeed it's a very huge number, sir. Tilak sir, as you were mentioning, people are very interested here. I can see 62 members participating here in this webinar, which is not such a believable thing. So I will share my PPT first. We'll start with the session. So we will be discussing, as Kalyanji mentioned, the discussion will be about the topic YOGAKSHEMA, the concept of welfare state. I actually don't like to use this word called state, because the term Rajya which we use is not equal to state. Or the term Rajya which our ancestors use. Present day Rajya may be state, but the ancestors, when they used the term Rajya, that was not equal to state. It had another meaning for that. Anyway, for time being, as a rough translation or the nearest possible translation, let us take it as a state for Rajya. So whenever this term state, I might have to say, I will be using the term Rajya. I hope you people will bear with that. I might not translate several terms, but I will tell you what that term means. So today, when there was a discussion between me and Nilenduji what topic to take for this session, then it was thought that let's go with YOGAKSHEMA, the core of Indian political science, or core of Indian governance, or core of Indian Dandaniti, whatever we want to call, Indian statehood, statecraft, whatever we would like to call, the YOGAKSHEMA was always been a core of Indian system. Without YOGAKSHEMA, no Arthashastra scholar or a scholar of political science tried to write a text. Even if they are coming from negative sense, but Yogakshema they have kept at most. Means negative sense, I am not saying negative, it's not a good word to say. In political science, I don't think there is something called negative. There's something which it depends on how we are speaking. For one side, it might seem negative. For another side, it might be a positive. So in political science, we cannot say that something is negative or positive. But even when somebody is speaking very practical in sense of political science, that one should be very, very practical. No humanity ground must be there, or there should be no emotion connected to it. In that sense also, such Arthashastrakaras or such political scientists also speak about Yogakshema. That is the beauty of this Indian system of political science. So the texts on welfare of Rajya, which are the texts which deal with welfare of Rajya? Let's first go with that. The texts which deal with this topic are Dharma Shastra texts, Artha Shastra texts, and Niti Shastra texts. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Kalyanji?
Yes, very much
Okay,
audible.
okay, thank you. So there are three different types of texts which deal with the political science or welfare of Rajya, or if you want to state the same word, Yogakshema. What is Yogakshema? We'll discuss later. We will reach there. Gradually, we will reach that term called Yogakshema. Okay. And a general understanding we have already received from our Kalyanji. So we will take that later. So these are the texts which speak about Yogakshema. Dharma Shastra texts like Manusmriti, Yajnavalkya Smriti. There are many Smriti texts which speak about Yogakshema or welfare of the Rajya. Then there comes Arthashastra texts like Kautilya's Arthashastra, Kamandaka's Niti Sara, and there is a text by Shambhaji Maharaj called Buddha Bhushana. So there are several texts which actually deal with the welfare of Rajya, and they are pure Arthashastra texts, means they are pure theoretical texts. In Dharma Shastra texts, what happened? They speak about individual dharma, individual duties, as well as the duties of the state. Arthashastra is the text which purely discusses about state. It doesn't discuss about an individual aspect. Then comes Niti Shastra. Niti Shastra texts are those texts which are focusing on both individual as well as the Rajya, but the way of presentation differs. They might be a simple way of explaining the Shastra texts. Means when we are speaking Arthashastra, the reading and understanding Arthashastra text is not that simple. It's like a boss. The boss has to be sometimes strict. The way the boss speaks will be different. Swami. Okay. Means Swami gives Adesha. So Arthashastra is like a Adesha text. It only gives Adesha. But Niti Shastra text like friends. The same Adesha, how to communicate like a friend. That is explained in Niti Shastras, like Panchatantra. How beautifully in a story manner, most of the time what happens, the text, Panchatantra text is taken as a storybook. But that's not the fact. The fact is Panchatantra text is a text of political science, a textbook of political science which was created for three notorious sons of a king to teach them Arthashastra. But if Arthashastra is taught in a way of as Kautilya wrote, they might not have been interested. We know these days how students, it's not that the students are like this in the contemporary world. Similar students were there during the time of Vishnu Sharma also, who wrote Panchatantra. The students were not interested in reading this Shastra text. They wanted stories. They wanted something interesting pedagogy in class to happen. And that was understood by Vishnu Sharma. So Vishnu Sharma brought Panchatantra into existence. So that's why we have Panchatantra today, because of those notorious students. And there are some other major texts like Vedas, Itihasas, Puranas, where at different stages, and Kavyas actually, Raghuvamsha type Kavyas, they also speak about Rajya Dharma, how Raja should be and how he should take care in a way of Kavya. Means how Raghu actually took care of his state. Maybe those aspects, if we gather and we put it at one place, we can exactly see how political science is placed there. So these are some major texts which deal with the welfare of a Rajya or YOGAKSHEMA of a Rajya. What is Shastra? It's a major question. Usually, whenever I go and ask my students or any participants there are different places when I give this lecture, usually I ask this question first. Now that we don't have time here to take this question, but whenever I ask this question, what is Shastra? The people say it is a discipline, it is a science, it is something, different types of answers we get. But Shastra has a very, very, very important and very specific meaning to it, which once if we have understood what Shastra is, we will start getting respect towards that. Usually Shastras are taken, even this answer I got from one of my students, that Shastra is religious text. That's not exactly what Shastra is. What Shastra is? So these are the definition of Shastra from different texts. Hita Shasakam, that which governs the welfare of the people, of individual or the society, that is Shastra. The Shastra is something which helps in governing the welfare of individual, welfare of a people or society, that is called Shastra. That's one definition. Another definition which we get is Eka Prayojanopanipandha Asheshartha Pratipadakam. A treatise which actually starts for acquiring one pursuit, means one aim. But eventually while doing that, it gets many other things joined with that. See, in our Indian texts, we will never find any text related to management. We will never find any text related to psychology. Because our goal was not to teach psychology or to teach management. They became the part and parcel of Bhagavad Gita. They became part and parcel of our Upanishads. Upanishad began to teach the Moksha Vidya, Adhyatma Vidya, to know the self. While knowing the self, when we read those texts, we'll find that most of the aspects which are taught there are management aspects. Even the Bhagavad Gita is a text which helps us in understanding the self-management, which helps in understanding the leadership, which helps us in understanding the planning, the stress management. So various management aspects became the part. The aim of Bhagavad Gita was not to teach management. Its main aim was acquiring one pursuit, that is Adhyatma Vidya. But eventually it became the text of management, it became the text of psychology. Similarly, Arthashastra text is like that. Arthashastra, Chanakya started that text for making it available for a king, for governance. But while doing that, he is speaking about the law, he is speaking about leadership, he is speaking about management, he is speaking about economics, he is speaking about agriculture, he is speaking about town planning and architecture, he is speaking about forts. So many aspects he is covering there. So major goal was something else. While doing that, this also happened. Similarly, the third definition which goes thus, Loka Anadhigatartha Jnapakatvam, that which explains what is difficult for masses to comprehend. Is something, Shastra is something which, general audience might not able to go and do the research and find out every aspect of what is happening throughout in our environment, in our surroundings. Shastra is a text which, even sitting at home, you can understand those difficult aspects. That's what Shastra explains. This one. Another definition goes thus: Pravrittischa nivrittischa pumsam yenopadishyate tadharmascha upadishyante shastram shastravido viduhu. The treatise which guides us on the path of pravritti as well as nivritti. Usually these days, whatever text we take, whatever discipline or textbook or any text which is written present day, we don't find these definitions, we cannot connect these definitions with those. If somebody is working on, somebody is a dentist and he is writing a text on dental stretch or something, he will write only about that part of teeth. He will not go beyond that. He will be discussing only about that. That's not Shastra. That might be a science, that might be a book, but that does not become Shastra because it's not speaking about anything else beyond that. Shastra is something which speaks beyond that, means it speaks about materialistic activity, but it also speaks about what will happen beyond, how to detach yourself from that materialistic activity. For example, in Arthashastra itself, Kautilya is saying Artha, money, wealth, resources are very important. While saying that, he is also saying that king should not get attached to those things. It's a very difficult thing to do, but that's what Shastra teaches us. To have control over the senses. And whatever I am saying,
Sir, namaste. Sorry to interrupt. Sir,
Yes.
but your screen is not visible. We request you to share the screen as well, sir.
Want me to share again?
Sir, screen is not visible actually. We request you to share the screen as well, sir.
Yeah, I had shared actually. I will share again then. Maybe there was some mistake. I'm sharing
Thank
again. Please check. Huh?
Please, sir.
Is it visible now?
No, sir.
No, but it is showing.
Yes, sir. Now it is
Yes,
visible.
no.
Yes,
It's
sir.
visible?
Thank you so much. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm sorry. There was some technical glitch, I guess. It was actually, for me, it was showing that it is showing, but then it was not showing. It's visible now, no?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Okay. So we were, so Shastra, it actually deals with both pravritti, that is materialistic activity, as well as the nivritti part. So pravritti and nivritti. Pravritti means, nivritti means detachment from the materialistic world. As I was mentioning in Arthashastra, Kautilya says that king should focus on war, king should focus on acquiring the land, king should focus on acquiring the wealth, resources, everything. But he's also saying that king should not get himself attached to these things. He must be detached of sensual pleasures. This thought or this teaching is possible only when it is a Shastra. Other than Shastra, that's why it's called Shastra. Because Shasti means which disciplines an individual. It's called Shastra. Now let's go to understand, let's try to understand the term called Artha. Vidya, Bhumi, Hiranya, Pashu, Dhanya, Bhanda, Upaskara, Mitradinam, Arjanam, Architasya Vivardhanam, Arthaha. Vidya means education or knowledge or arts. Bhumi means land. Hiranya means gold. Pashu means cattle. Dhanya means actually, I think I missed that in translation. Dhanya means the grains. Bhanda means wealth. Upaskara, equipages. Mitra means friends. Acquiring these and protecting these is called Artha according to Kama Sutrakara Vatsyayana. So this is what Artha is, one definition of Artha. Kautilya gives two definitions for Artha. One is Manushyana Mrittihi. That is, the livelihood of a human being is Artha. Another definition which he gives is Manushyavati Bhumihi. The land with human being is Artha. What is Arthashastra? The treatise which helps us in acquiring and protecting, which or the treatise which teaches us or which helps us in understanding how to acquire and how to protect such a land with human beings is called Arthashastra. That's Artha. That is Artha. Shastra definition we have already seen. When we merge these two, it becomes Arthashastra. So now let's move into history of Arthashastra. there was a time when there was no king, no kingdom. There's a beautiful shloka in Mahabharata. Naiva rajyam na raja asit na dando na chadandikaha dharme naiva prajas sarvaha rakshanti parasparam vagera vagera. So there was a time when there was no king, no kingdom, there was no punisher, no punishment, nothing. The world was so beautifully running that people used to protect each other. People used to take care about each other by just performing their own duties. Students were focusing on their education. The householders were focusing on household activities. The retired people were focusing only on the term of advising the householders. And sannyasis, they were just focusing on sannyasa dharma or about moksha, etc. Nobody was trying to interrupt or transgress into others' duties. Like Grihastha never tried to leave his household activities and become sannyasi. Sannyasi never tried to come back into Grihasthashrama. So people were doing their duty properly, as prescribed in the text or as dharma says. But gradually the delusion started. Means maybe few people started getting deluged, moha or asha, greed, that we want more. So, or the people started feeling, the students started feeling that earning money is the best thing to do instead of going for education. The householders started thinking that I am just spending my life in serving these people, it's better I become sannyasi. Sannyasi always watches the householder saying that householder is earning a lot, why should I become sannyasi? So these type of discussion, these type of thought process started emerging, because of which people became, there was a big chaos in society. There was no king to control. There was no people to, there was nobody who is going to lead or give them proper guidance how to move ahead. This led to issue. Means the people were not doing their duty, yajna was not being performed. Because yajna was not being performed, there is a belief that when yajna is done, the devatas get the food, and this is the mutual understanding. If something is given by us, they return it back. When it was not happened, it's a story from Mahabharata. Okay, we need not take the story as it is, but the core of the story we can understand that there was a situation when people were not doing their duties. So what happened? All the devatas went to Brahma. Let's take this story. All the devatas went to Brahma and requested Brahma that this is the situation, and we are not getting anything, and we are unable to support the people down on the earth. So please help us. There is a lot of chaos happening. So Brahma did one thing. He wrote a big text of 100,000 chapters, which consisted of dharma, artha, kama, moksha, the thoughts of right duties, the thoughts of right desires, thought of right earning or wealth, and moksha. These four concepts were discussed in detail in a text written by Brahma. That text is not available now, which consisted of 100,000 chapters, which was later gradually reduced, and it became and it got divided into separate shastras. Then once Brahma had written this text, there was nobody to actually apply this. See, Brahma wasn't pure academician like us. Give it to the society. We do the research and say this is good, this is bad. If you want to make this this thing happen good, you have to apply what I am suggesting. That's what we academicians do most of the time. Though who will apply this? Brahma has written the text. Who will apply it? The Brahma said, no sir, I am a pure academician. This is not my job. You can go to Vishnu. He is the person who actually takes care of these type of administrative tasks or application-oriented tasks. So they go to Vishnu. Vishnu commands Viraja, his son Viraja, to take this text and apply this in a society. Viraja says, I am not interested because this is not my area. My interest is in attaining moksha, so I am not interested. Viraja, then it goes to his progeny, that is Kirtiman. Kirtiman doesn't accept, Kardama doesn't accept, then it goes to Ananga. Ananga accepts it and tries to do his best to apply Brahma's book into the society. He was properly ruling, no problem. It was happening, somewhat it was working. Then it goes to Atibala. Atibala and Vena. Both were like a dictators. They were harassing the people. They took the leadership, but they were purely the rulers. They never wanted to become a pure Raja thing. Raja has a different definition. We'll discuss that later. They wanted to be rulers. They want to harass the people. They wanted to be dictators. So they were doing that. Now the good thing about Indian system was that though they were Raja, but they were not above dharma. So when the rishis or the people understood they were against dharma, the rishis came. Yes? Any problem?
Please continue, sir.
Yeah. So rishis came and they killed Vena. From Vena, Mlechas and Nishadas took birth. They were like barbarians. They were traveling in the jungles. They were killing the people. So they were like tribal peoples. They were very not tribal. They were roaming in the jungles. They were killing the people. They were like very barbarian people because they were not educated properly. From the Vena himself, the Pruthu was also born. Now this Pruthu was a great. He was a proper believer of the text of Brahma. He applied all the aspects properly, and he actually cherished his people, his subjects. So Vishnu comes and says, you have cherished your people, and the term Raja means Ranjayati Prajaha iti Raja. One who cherishes his subject is called Raja. The word Raja is derived from the word Raja has derived from a root called Ranjarage, means one who cherishes. So Raja does not mean one who rules. Raja does not mean one who orders or makes people under his control. Raja means one who cherishes, one who takes care of the welfare, YOGAKSHEMA of his people. He is Raja. That's why it becomes very difficult to translate the word Raja to king or Raja to word ruler or Raja as a something else. So Raja is better to call as Raja because the word Raja itself means one who cherishes or one who takes care of the welfare of the people. He is Raja. Even Kalidasa also says Raja Prakriti Ranjanat. One who takes care about his Prakriti. He is Raja. A similar story even later comes. I'll skip this story. So that's how Raja came into existence. The term Raja came into existence. So in Indian context, the leader or a minister, in the present day, we may call it prime minister or ministers, group of ministers. In olden days, it was king and ministers. So in Indian context, the Raja's duty was Raja's duty was mere raksha of his people and cherishing his people, not to rule over the people. If you see any Indian text, whether it is Ramayana, whether it's Mahabharata, the people were having war not with the people, not with the subjects. The kings were not having the war with the subjects. They were having war with the king versus king. And maybe while that war was happening, there were soldiers and all. Those are the part of the king. But it is believed that when the war used to happen, parallelly the person was doing krishi karya there, agriculture. There are a few stories which explain this. And war were happening between two families, war were happening between two kings. So it was not disturbing the society. It was not disturbing the people who were not into the war business. So that's what Indian system was. The duty of Raja was to protect his people from other means what other outside calamities, etc. To make this happen, to make the scholarship happen well, good kings to come out and good leadership happen, Raja must take care of the good thing. There are many Arthashastra scholars before Chanakya who have contributed to this knowledge of governance. They are Shukra, Brihaspati, Vishalaksha is Shiva, Pishuna means Narada, Vatavyadi Uddhava, Bharadwaja, Parashara, Kaunapadanta is Bhishma. In his Shanti Parva, in Mahabharata Shanti Parva, we get the thoughts of Bhishma. Bahudanti Putra is Indra. Aushanasa is the students of Shukracharya. So these are few. There are many others, but I have just listed down few names of scholars who have contributed for this area. Now let's move into Chanakya text, but I will not touch this part. We'll move ahead. In his text, he speaks about Yogakshema, Saptanga, and Shatgunya. These are the major frameworks which he uses in the text Arthashastra. So let's see what Yogakshema is. Just this one slide, then we will stop and we will take questions. What Yogakshema is? Yogakshema is alabdha labhaha, labdhasya rakshanam, rakshitasya vivardhanam, vruddhasya tirtheshu pratipadanam. That is, to acquire which is not acquired, whether that is a knowledge, whether that is a land, whether that's a wealth or any resource, whatever resource does not exist, to acquire that resource, to acquire what we don't have. Next step of Yogakshema will be to protect what we have received. Now we have acquired something, so we have to protect that. That is the next step. Once that is protected, expanding it. So let's take as education as one of the resource. Let's take knowledge of Arthashastra as one resource. Now from this session, you all might be knowing about these aspects. I might be repeating this for you. But still, if somebody doesn't know about these aspects which I am discussing, then for them, this knowledge might be new and they are acquiring this knowledge. Now, once you have acquired this knowledge, when we go out of this session, we will try to protect this knowledge, whatever we have learned, by writing a small report type thing on whatever we have learned today. So that will help in future that we had learned this, so protecting it. Then there will be few very interested people who might be working in this area. They might say that, no, just protection might not help. Let me read Kautilya's Arthashastra, Kautilya's textbook, Kautilya's book on Arthashastra. That is expansion of this knowledge. Now that you have expanded this knowledge, you are not happy with that. You want to share this knowledge with your peers, also with your students. So that is what enjoyment part is. Means enjoying that knowledge by distributing it. So vruddhasya tirtheshu pratipadana means whatever is increased, expanding, distributing that among your people. So this is exactly what Yogakshema is. Acquiring, protecting, expanding, and distribution or enjoying through distribution. That is Yogakshema. Let me tell that in Sanskritam. Alabdha labhaha, labdhasya rakshanam, rakshita vivardhanam, vruddhasya tirtheshu pratipadanam. This is what Yogakshema is. Now, with respect to the land also, a king or a minister must always ensure that he or she acquires what is needed for his people or subject. Now, yesterday there was a meeting, Narendra Modi ji had a meeting with the Trump, and he tried to bring many things for India which Indians lacked, like maybe weapons, some aircrafts, those things he tried to bring from America, and many other business opportunities he tried to bring from America. So that is acquiring. Now, after coming here, he will ensure that he must ensure, if he if he thinks about Yogakshema of the people, his people, it becomes his duty to ensure that he protects those the things or the aspects which he acquired from that meeting. Then he must ensure that it is getting expanded. But that's not enough. He must also ensure that it's getting distributed equally throughout the country. So that is what Yogakshema is. This is the concept of Yogakshema. Now in ancient text, Yogakshema was done by this framework called Saptanga Rajya, where there is a Swami. Swami means Raja, or the person who is cherishing his subjects. Then one must have Janapada, that is territory or population. Then Kosha, that is treasury. Then comes Durga, that is fort. Durga can be of any type. It need not be a physical fort. It can be the fort which is not visible, but still it is protecting your state. The present antiviruses can be a fort to protect the documents or secret documents which government is creating over laptops or computers. Then comes Danda, that is army. Then comes Mitra, that is friend. Amatya is minister, mantri. Amatya, now let's take Amatya word. This is a very beautiful word, and without Amatya the king cannot survive. Ama means together, or one who is associated. Ama, together with. One who is with the king or with the leader, he is called Amatya. The associates. It's a very beautiful shloka in Sanskrit and Kautilya's Arthashastra, which says, Sahaya sadhyam rajatvam chakramekam navartate kurvita sachivans tasmat teshancha shrunuyan matam. A very beautiful verse. Every word of this place it's a very heavy words. See, he says, Sahaya sadhyam rajatvam. Rajatvam, the kingship, is based on the associateship, means based on the companionship. Without companion, a kingship cannot happen, a rajatva cannot happen, a rajya cannot survive. So king must ensure that because a car cannot run with one tire, a ratha cannot run with one tire, one wheel. So king should ensure that he is appointing a good number or appropriate number of amatyas. Now last sentence, very beautiful, I like it very much. Teshancha shrunuyan matam. He must listen to their words. Just appointing an advisory board, just having a people around him, just having good ministers around him will not do. The leader must ensure that he himself is listening to the advices given by them. That's what Dasharatha did. That's what Rama did. That's in ancient stories we get this. The king is giving authority to the ministers that he will listen to them and they can come anytime and give their advices. We have many such stories which reveals that the successful kings always heard to their ministers. Dhanananda never heard his minister, so Chanakya could conquer him easily. Chandragupta heard his minister, so he flourished. There are many stories which says that if king gives authority to a amatya that he can speak and the king will listen to him, then the Rajya will be successful. So I would like to stop here. We will take, because this can go, I can speak a day long. This itself is a course in my university. I can speak a day long, but it's a good time that we all are faculty members here. So instead of one way thing, maybe a few questions if we can take, that will be a good thing to do. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Tilakji and Kalji and Nilenduji. Maybe we can take questions from here.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation. And as usual, you have explained the concept in a very lucid manner so that those of us who are actually for the first time in Kautilya Rashtra Shastra, they are also able to understand what you mean. And those who are studying it, they also get a new ideas on how to develop their concepts further. You mentioned about a recent, just to begin the discussions, you mentioned about a recent visit of our Prime Minister to USA and the meeting with the US President.
Yes.
Now, US and India both talk about free and open Indo-Pacific, meaning to my mind, I see it as a kind of an extension of the notion of YOGAKSHEMA, because it's an open, right? And the idea is, in order to, is a kind of a collective, meaning we are trying to collectively ensure that we grow, prosper beyond the borders.
Correct. Yes.
So we are not just thinking about our own material fulfillment, but also thinking beyond that.
True.
Right.
True. Yeah.
Okay. With that, I keep it open. Now I open it for question sessions. There are already 2 hands raised. One is Indrani Basu. Indrani, you can go first.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, can you please explain the 2 concepts, Kosha and Durga? And another thing that, sir, you have mentioned that there was a certain period when there was no such king to rule. So can you please specify the time period of that situation? Is there a historical time period?
Kosha and Durga itself will take one whole session to describe. I think Kalyanji knows that. Kosha is treasury in general. Kosha means kushyate, the place from where you extract the wealth for the kingdom, like the people, from where the tax is getting generated, and the place where that money is getting stored. These 2 places are called koshas. One from the source of wealth, and another the place where it is stored. These 2 are called kosha. I hope kosha is clear. Durga means fort. Dukkhena gamyate yatra, where the people feel difficult to enter or move. That part is called Durga. The etymology of Durga goes thus. It's actually fort, which is actually protecting the state from 4 sides. But the Durga, in a present day context, Durga might not be only the physical aspect which we are discussing. It might be the non-physical aspects too, like antivirus, our firewall, which is protecting our laptops from getting affected from the viruses, or the medicines which we take. Our body itself is a Durga, which is protecting our skin is a Durga, which is protecting our mom's flesh and all. That's what the concept of Durga is. Another thing which you asked, what is the timeline of the period? What might be the timeline when there was no king, no kingdom? Actually, this story which we get is from Mahabharata. And our ancient texts never speak about timelines. We should agree this point, that our ancient texts, they never spoke about time and timelines. This time and timeline concept came in a modern history, modern subject of history. In ancient texts, we don't find this time thing. So we don't know when it was. It was a story which was rendered by Bhishma to Yudhishthira. Yeah, we lack in such areas, you know.
Thank you, sir.
Abhishek ji?
Yes. Thank you for giving me chance. Namaskar. Kulanda. Namaskar, sir. It was very glad to see you later. And we have been spending a good time with you in Bhopal and Benares. And my question is that Orthoshastra, where the Ortho means Prithivi, I think. Prithivi
Yes.
Vishayaka Sarvam. So, Orthoshastra depicts a clear picture of welfare of state and welfare of man, where they live in the earth happily. So, my question is that can you relate with the new world? What is the availability of Arthashastra? Is there necessity? Is there any necessity with Arthashastra?
Means you want to know what are the relevance of the Arthashastra text now?
Yes.
See, Arthashastra, there are many concepts. See, ancient texts, when we see ancient texts, we must not take every word from the ancient texts which we try to connect it with the modern world. What we should do is we have to take concepts which we are discussing. See, the concepts of YOGAKSHEMA. Do you think it's not important for the present world? Abhishek ji, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So, concept of YOGAKSHEMA we need for the present world.
Yes, I can understand that. And
So
after
these
that,
type of concepts are there, which we can take it, we modify it, and use it for the present world. Modification is required. As it is, we cannot take any text, any ancient text for the modern world. We have to make some modifications, use it.
yes, that's right. And one more thing, the Tika is Srimula Tika is very popular in this context.
Yes.
Arthashastra Srimula Tika. I have read the Srimula Tika. What do you think that is appropriate for Arthashastra, the beginners of Arthashastra?
For beginners of Arthashastra, it's appropriate. But for researchers, it's still, as I have been reading that commentary, every now and then I read it, I feel that it still lacks a lot of things. And a new commentary must be written. In detail commentary is required. That's what many of us feel. Whoever we are reading this text, we feel that still a lot of work need to be done in this area.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Mandalji, JK Mandalji.
Pranam, sir.
Pranam, sir.
I have a question. I am also from Sanskrit. My question is, what is the relation between Arthashastra and Manu Samhita? And second is, what is the implication of Arthashastra in present days?
That implication part I have already told. Let me tell the difference between Manusmriti and Kautilya's Arthashastra. Kautilya's Arthashastra is specifically meant for the governance, not for an individual. A leader or the person who want to lead the government. That's a different thing. If you take yourself as your home as a state and you want to be its Raja, then there also you can apply. But it's purely a specific scientific text for a political scientist. Manusmriti has both. Manusmriti is a bigger umbrella. Okay, Dharma Shastra is a bigger umbrella, where Artha Shastra is one part. I hope I am making this concept clear. Dharma Shastra is a bigger umbrella, where Rajadharma Shastra is a small part. You can see that in Manu Samhita also, there are few chapters dedicated for Rajadharma. Okay, so let's take it like this. In a big text called Dharma Shastra, you have a small part called Rajadharma. Rajadharma is explained in Arthashastra. I hope I made the concept clear.
And one thing, sir. Can Kautilya wrote Arthashastra according to Manusmriti?
No. Kautilya, what he did, in a very first line of Kautilya's Arthashastra, he says, Prithivyaha labhe palane cha yavantyarthashastrani purvacharyaihi prasthapitani tani samhritya ekamidam arthashastram kritam, which means whatever text related to the acquiring and the protection of land was composed by previous acharyas, many acharyas. I have collected all those things and made it as a compendium called Arthashastra. but he ensures wherever he is not accepting the point of those scholars, he is refuting it. He is saying, I don't accept this scholar. This is what my thought is. So it's not only Manusmriti. He takes from various scholars. The list of scholars I had listed there.
Yes. One more thing.
Yes, sir.
What is the specification of Raja according to Arthashastra? Because according to Manusmriti, specification of Raja is different.
I didn't understand your question. Specification means what do you means? You are thinking of characteristic of Raja or duties of Raja?
The specification means Balopi Namantavya says in Manusmriti.
Kautilya also accepts that.
Or is Raja can only Kshatriya would be a Raja, or Brahmin also would be a Raja? According to
Even
Kautilya.
Shudra can be a Raja.
According to Kautilya.
Yeah. Kautilya never says that this religion, in the selection of Raja part, Kautilya never puts who must become Raja.
Acha.
Even the Chandragupta's part, there are many debates going on that Chandragupta was not Kshatriya.
Yes. So this is the big difference from Manusmriti.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Rajesh Pandey ji.
Namaskar, sir. Sir,
Yes,
my
Rajesh.
question is this. Is there any sloka in the Arthashastra where it specifically mentions about the date or time of the composition of the text?
No.
Okay.
Kautilya never mentions this.
Okay. So whatever dating we have, all these are secondary or calculative.
Yes, the 3rd century BCE or 4th century BCE, whatever we are getting. Some are even saying that it's 6th century BCE. So
Yes.
we are still not sure. But one thing is sure, it's in BCE.
Okay. Is there any other epigraphic or non-literary reference of the time period of the composition of the text?
No.
For example, epigraphic numismatic reference?
No, but about date, there is no explanation in any text.
Okay.
So whatever modern datings we get, we have to rely on that.
Okay.
But Kautilya's name have been discussed in various texts, like Kamandaka in 4th century CE. When he writes a text, he says that shloka which I rendered. He says Chanakya was his guru. And then even 6th century BCE, the name after that, many scholars like Dandi, Bana, they actually and the text Mudra Rakshasa. In these, we get the name of Chanakya. That just shows that Chanakya was before 400 before BC. Chanakya was in
400
BC.
BC.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions? Feel free to ask.
So Chanakya is a myth. What do you think? Chanakya is myth or is a folklore or something like that? It's a very actually I have read Mudra Rakshasa as a student of Kavya Sastra, but
Okay.
I think the Chanakya Niti Sara, the slokas after Chanakya's we have read in the 7th standard or 8th standard, very beautiful slokas. But do you think those are all written by Chanakya?
No. Chanakya Niti Shlokas are not written by Chanakya. Somebody wrote it, somebody collected it from Hitopadesha, Panchatantra, Mahabharata and all, put it at one place and says that it's from Chanakya. Chanakya Niti Shloka text is not from Chanakya. The Chanakya Sutras, even Chanakya Sutra, there is a debate going on still. Only the text by Chanakya is Kautilya, that is Arthashastra. And regarding myth and all, we have a lot of proof which shows that Chanakya existed. That is by Huan Sang. He writes that there was a minister called Chanakya. So many foreign visitors who came to India, they actually give reference for Chanakya and Chandragupta, which says that Chanakya is not a myth. He existed.
Thank you, sir. He has written a book through his entire life, only one book. Is it possible?
No, it's not possible. He might have written many, but they might have lost. Because see, Arthashastra was not available till 1905. Somebody digged up and we got that text. We don't know how many other texts he might have written.
Yes, sir. That's
And
right. Thank
he
you.
was so busy in conquering Magadha and making India one place. I don't know how much time he might have got to write.
Yes, it's a really good point. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? Anybody else who wants to ask any questions to sir?
Sir, I enjoyed this session.
हेलो सर
Yes, Jyoti.
नमस्कार विनायक जी। विनायक जी, अभी आप डिस्कशन कर रहे थे दुर्ग के बारे में, आपने एक स्टेटमेंट बोला, तो मेरे दिमाग में एक विचार आया, मतलब मैं पूछना चाह रही हूँ कि क्या वो अप्लाई कर सकते हैं आज के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में? कि आपने कहा ये वो कॉन्सेप्ट है, मतलब जिसमें कोई पेनिट्रेट नहीं कर सकता, मतलब वो एक ऐसी एक बाउंड्री है जिससे आप अंदर, जैसे आपने फायरवॉल का एग्जांपल दिया, तो क्या आज के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में हम पॉलिसीज को यूज कर सकते हैं?
इसको
पॉलिसीज जो बनती है,
जी
पॉलिसीज बनती है, क्या हम उसको दुर्ग की तुलना कर सकते हैं?
अवश्य कर सकते हैं। आप किस चीज की, आप जब पॉलिसीज बनाते हैं वो किसी एक चीज के लिए वो दुर्ग ही होगा।
जी 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 जी, बस
तो आप उसको क्रॉस करके अंदर नहीं जा सकते।
हाँ जी, ठीक है जी, थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू।
Sir, I'm just remembering that when we talk about YOGAKSHEMA, we also talk about two concepts. One is actually Raksha, meaning security, and another is the concept of Palana, meaning well-being, taking care of everything.
Yes.
So if you take Durga to these concepts also, so you see a kind of an interlink or correlation between them.
Correct. Yes.
Any other questions?
I have heard about Vriddha Chanakya. Vriddha Chanakya and Laghu Chanakya. Vriddha Chanakya, I have read about it. Chanakya and Vriddha Chanakya is similar person. Do you think?
I'm sorry, sir. Even I have heard, but I don't know much about it. Maybe I will try to find out this answer. Who are this Vriddha and Laghu Chanakya? Even I have heard this.
Yes, I am also doing this. Thank you.
Any other questions for sir?
सर, एक और बात है या विचार है, अभी पीछे बात चल रही थी इतिहास के कॉन्सेप्ट में कि इसकी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन या ऑथरशिप कब की है, क्योंकि हमारे इंडिया में हम कहते हैं कि ये गैप है, पर मुझे लगता है कि अगर सिविलाइजेशनल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखा जाए तो यहाँ पर जितने जो राइटर्स रहे हैं वो कभी ये नहीं क्लेम करते हैं कि मैंने लिखा, क्योंकि एक जो इंस्पिरेशन है, जो एक इन्वोकेशन है, तो आपको, मतलब मुझे लगता है कि हम एक मीडियम मानते हैं खुद को किसी टेक्स्ट के, किसी इंफॉर्मेशन के। वी आर नॉलेज रिजर्वॉयर्स, कैरियर्स ऑफ दैट रिजर्वॉयर्स ऑफ नॉलेज। सो अगर हम सुपात्र हैं तो शायद हम मिलता है। दूसरी बात ये कि जब इतिहास समय जो है, काल की गणना, शायद, मतलब मेरा विचार है कि उसको समझना चाह रही हूँ अपने लिए भी, कि जो काल की गणना यहाँ कॉन्टेक्स्ट, सिविलाइजेशनल कॉन्टेक्स्ट में की जाती है, मतलब भारतीय कॉन्टेक्स्ट में की जाती है, तो समय जो है वो लीनियर नहीं है जो वेस्टर्न मानते हैं मेरे ख्याल से, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ कॉन्शियसनेस का जो एक दायरा है वो काल से परे है, मतलब उसमें कोई एक मोमेंटम नहीं है, जैसे मूवमेंट आगे के, वो साइक्लिक है सर। मतलब मैं ये समझना चाह रही हूँ कि जब हमें भी क्वेश्चंस आते हैं तो हमें भी जवाब, तो मैं इसको इस तरह एड्रेस करती हूँ, तो मैं इस पर आपका विचार जाना, क्योंकि हम कहते हैं युगों में बांटते हैं, तो साइक्लिक है, घूमकर फिर वहीं आता है, कार्मिक वो भी घूम के आता है, धार्मिक वो भी घूम के आता है। तो अगर हम ये वेस्टर्न अप्रोच ऑफ टाइम को या ऑथरशिप को अगर इंडियन के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में सिविलाइजेशनल पॉइंट को डिनाई करके लेते हैं तो शायद हम इसे कभी आर्ग्यू या जस्टिफाई नहीं कर पाएंगे। जिस सिर्फ जानना चाह रही हूँ कि क्या है, मतलब प्लीज अगर आप कुछ कह सके तो।
नहीं, एग्जैक्टली यही बात है कि जब हम लोग इतना ये हो चुके हैं कि भारतीय हम लोग इतना कॉलोनाइज्ड माइंडसेट में आ चुके हैं कि हम लोग कितना भी प्रयास करें इस विषय को अगर आप सामने रखने के लिए कि हम लोग टाइम से बंधे हुए नहीं थे, लोग सुनना नहीं चाहेंगे इसको। इसीलिए आपके फ्रेमवर्क में जब हम अपने आप को बिठाना चाहेंगे तो हम गलत ही दिखाई देंगे लोगों को। ठीक है, आपके फ्रेमवर्क में हम ठीक नहीं है, हम हमारे फ्रेमवर्क में हम अच्छे हैं, यही हमारे कहने का तात्पर्य है
जी।
इस फ्रेमवर्क में अब आप फ्रेमवर्क में ही अपने आप को बिठाना चाहते हैं तो हम लोग इस फ्रेमवर्क में नहीं बैठ पाते हैं। क्या करें? साइंस का डेफिनेशन देखेंगे तो हमारे शास्त्र उस फ्रेमवर्क में नहीं बैठेंगे क्योंकि उन्होंने डेफिनेशन बना के दिया, हम उसी को लेना चाहते हैं। मैथ्स का किसी भी चीज का फ्रेमवर्क जो वो दे रहे हैं उसमें अगर हम अपने आप वो बहुत सीमित फ्रेमवर्क बना के अगर दे रहे हैं, उस फ्रेमवर्क में हम अपने आप को नहीं बिठा पाएंगे। और जब नहीं बिठा पाते हैं और उनसे, अब हमारे यहाँ एक अच्छी उक्ति है, मूर्खस्य नास्ति औषधम, और मूर्ख के साथ विवाद नहीं करना चाहिए। तो ऐसे संदर्भ में जब कोई विवाद करने आता है तो हम बोलते हैं ठीक है भैया, हम गलत हैं, हम आपके फ्रेमवर्क में नहीं बैठते हैं, आपको जो करना है कीजिए। हम अगर कोई सुनना चाहता है तो हम बोलते भी हैं, जैसा आपने उत्तर दिया है उसी प्रकार का उत्तर हम भी देते हैं कि हमारी भारत की जो परंपरा रही है उसमें समय से परे सोचते हैं, हमेशा समय में बांध के नहीं रखते हमारे शास्त्रों को।
जी जी, धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
So if you have any other questions, otherwise we will move towards closure of this session.
I would like to say two sentences. It was really a great session. I really enjoyed it because usually what happens when we are in a online mode and when sessions happen, I never expect questions from the participants because it's usually that nobody listens and there's a one-way traffic. The speaker speaks. After 45 minutes, speaker ends his session. And when the coordinator says, please ask the question, nobody asks the questions. And I say bye-bye and get out. But here, many questions I got and it really enhanced my knowledge. Few questions I will take out and will work on it. Like Abhishek ji and Jyoti ji, they have few questions which need to be thought now. Like Vruddha Chanakya, Laghu Chanakya, and how to present this thought in front of the people that India was not bound in a timeline when it comes to the knowledge thing. So these questions I will take with me, and maybe next time when we visit, I will try to find the answer for this.
Okay, thank you.
Only one thing. What is the thought of Kautilya about Sri Krishna?
No, he doesn't speak about Sri Krishna. He never used the name of Krishna in his whole Arthashastra.
Because today's tagline is YOGAKSHEMA. In this I ask the question. Because
that YOGAKSHEMA is different and this YOGAKSHEMA is different.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
You are speaking about YOGAKSHEMA Mahamyaham of Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
Yes, YOGAKSHEMA is different.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, now may I ask our principal, Dr. Tilak Chatterjee, to formally say a few things and close this webinar. Sir.
Sir is joining back again.
Sir is? Nilendu? What did you say?
He's joining in a minute.
Okay. Sir.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
এই দেখি তোরটা আছে প্রোগ্রামটা খোলা বলুন।
Hello.
Yes.
Thank you. So, I thank once more Dr. Vinayak. I also thank all the teachers, and also I can see many of the principals have attended today's program. I thank them also for making this webinar successful. In my college also, the first 2 periods have remained suspended so that teachers can join. And Vinayak ji, we were all enlightened by your words, and also the interactions have enriched the session. I'm hopeful that in the days to come, we can have a series of webinars in the manner in which today it has been conducted, because it requires 2 things: high spirit among the participants and some time. Other than that, nothing is needed. And the resource person or the speaker, whoever remains the speaker, always remains satisfied if he or she finds an audience before him, even in the virtual mode at a distance. I thank you, everybody, and hope everybody has remained satisfied during the session. Thank you once more. Kullan Chatterjee, you can now end the program.
Thank you, sir, for your contribution and for accepting our invitation and enlightening us. And thank you to all my colleagues, principals, and participants who have come, spent their time, asked questions, made this webinar interactive, and made sir also happy. But I would end with the word that it is sir's way of saying things and your interactive manner of presentation, which I hope that made the participants stay back and enjoy your sessions thoroughly. We enjoyed your sessions. We look forward to see you, as our principal has said, in face-to-face mode in Kolkata sometime in near future. Thank you, sir. Namaste.
Thank you, sir.